Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing the beautiful new moon in Leo happening on the 28th of July 2022 and what it means for your zodiac sign. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular astrology updates on what the stars have in store for you. If you want to book an astrology or a tarot or a combination of both or a Reiki reading with me, the email is listed in my description box. That's the only place you can book a reading with me. You can also go follow my Instagram for regular astrology updates as well. It is also listed below. So we have a new moon in Leo. The annual new moon in Leo is a new beginning for all of us in a very playful, very creative, very joyful space. It's where we want to create something that will bring us happiness. It's where we want to create something that will bring us pride. And this new moon is actually in a harmonious alignment with Jupiter. It's not a very strong alignment. It's about 3 degrees of orb, but it is still going to have this energy that is requiring us, in whatever we're beginning around this time, it's requiring us to have self-confidence, faith and belief, particularly of the self, but in general, Jupiter is the planet associated with faith, and Jupiter has this way of expanding. So we associate Jupiter with the Wheel of Fortune, we associate it with lucky breaks, but Jupiter typically expands primarily, and it will expand what is already there. So when it's in a harmonious alignment with the new moon, it means that the new beginning that is happening for you, which we will go into for each of the zodiac signs, the new beginning that is happening for you is getting this positive, supportive energy from Jupiter, which means that, as I say, whatever you're beginning around this time, whatever this new fresh start is, you're likely to be embracing it with a sense of self-confidence, of belief and faith. And this new moon itself is quite positive. At the same time, we have this exact square between Mercury in Leo and Uranus in Taurus. When Mercury and Uranus square, it means that there can be unexpected or surprising news, because Mercury rules our news, our information, our communication. It may also mean around this time that you have to watch your words a little bit more carefully, because you could be quite abrupt. Particularly when it comes to money. This can also be impulsive spending, for example, catching up with you. So just mind that with Mercury square Uranus, there could be unexpected news, there could be a shock, there could be a surprise, there could be something that just makes you gasp out loud in terms of news in your life. Again, it will depend on your ascendant and your personal placements. But do look at your birth chart. And note if you have anything at 5 degrees of the fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, because you're either going to be getting a trine or a conjunction. If it's Leo, trine if it's Aries and Sagittarius. These placements, if you have them, are going to be trined harmoniously with this new moon. If you have anything at 5 degrees of the other fixed signs aside from Leo, say it's Aquarius, Taurus or Scorpio, there could also be an important new beginning happening for you, because we have square and opposition energy, meaning there might be some sort of challenge or grit attached to this new beginning. Maybe grit is required, but it's more likely you're going to be impacted by this. If you have anything at 18 degrees of the fixed signs, you're going to feel this last week of July much more significantly than everybody else, because we have this great conjunction happening between the North Node, Mars and Uranus, all in Taurus at 18 degrees. So if you have anything fixed sign related at 18 degrees, you may expect a bit of a shock or surprise to this area, wherever that's falling in your chart, whatever planet that is, whatever angle that is. If, on the other hand, you have anything at 18 degrees of the earth signs, so Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus to an extent, Taurus more strongly. But if you have a trine, so if you have Capricorn or Virgo placements at 18 degrees, you're probably going to be feeling some sort of positive energy coming in from this. There could be some sort of positive twist on this. It's really benefiting you in some way. Whenever we have the North Node involved, there's a point of destiny here. There's a point of clarity on what the next chapter is going to unfold. With Mars there's a real push with this new beginning, and with Uranus there's a surprise. There's a surprise. So we will get into that for each of the signs, but this can bring shocks, surprises, a bit of chaos, very fresh energy, very new energy, very innovative energy, maybe a eureka moment, a light bulb moment. That sort of thing is happening for us with this conjunction, because it's happening for all of us, even though it's going to impact each chart differently. On the world stage, this could be very linked to our financial system. The banks, for example, there could be some dramatic new beginning, some dramatic new change, something very chaotic could be happening. And I know that you're probably going to say, well, what's new? But this is sort of the new beginning. This is where we're going. This is very innovative. This is very fresh. This is very new. It's going to require a bit of a shake-up to get clarity on where it is that we're going. So that is important for you to know, because this is something that you can expect around this time, as well as that with the Leo new moon, and then the financial changes going on there as well, or the changes to our structures, the changes to our food supplies as well, anything material which we get with Taurus. The new moon in Leo could hold some sort of new beginning in terms of leadership, and because of its connection to Jupiter, this could be somebody who is really very self-confident, someone who's really very self-motivated, maybe quite self-sufficient. So this could be coming up on a global stage with that Jupiter in Aries support to this new moon, but there can be some sort of surprise involved in all of this, something chaotic, something surprising. So just hold on to your hats for the rest of this week in July and leading into August. You're going to still be feeling this in the first week or so of August, if not a little bit longer. But the timestamps are listed below for each of the zodiac signs if you want to look at your rising sign first and then check out your sun and your moon to get an overall theme. I am going to be drawing a card for this new moon in Leo and see if we can get just a little bit more information, a little bit of a theme, something to think about with this new moon in Leo. New moons in Leo can also be quite romantic. There can be a new romance enters your life. There can be news of a child being born or a child's been conceived. There can be a lot of new art released into the world, news surrounding an artist that could be quite significant. Ah, peace. Beautiful. I like this. It's so opposite to what the sky is sort of saying. Peaceful, yeah, you'd associate that with Uranus and Mars, sure. I think it's saying to choose peace. And also with that Mercury square Uranus card, in terms of potential confrontations that may come up, there's sort of a need to watch your words. There's a need to, you know, with the Uranus, Taurus, and the Leo Mercury, it's not always what you say, it's how it's said. It's the tone of voice. It is the body language. These things matter. I think it's saying this week, in midst of the chaos, choose peace. Choose peace, choose calmness. There's also an olive branch here. So I think as well it's saying don't let pride get in the way in terms of your interactions, especially in matters of the heart. It's like, don't let pride get in your way. If an olive branch is offered, it probably took a lot, because when people with Leo placements apologize, which is like nearly never, you know it's taken a lot. It means a lot when a Leo apologizes or offers peace because of the pride aspect. And pride is just self-protection. We see that with the fixed signs. Pride is this self-protection to not appear vulnerable and a fear of even being rejected. So if someone is offering you peace around this time, I feel like this is pretty significant. I also feel with the egg card that for a lot of people, this is a new beginning of creation. This could also be a time, as I say, of a lot of births, of a lot of conceptions, especially with the Jupiter aspect there. There could be a lot of people hearing news about babies and children. And a lot of people could be noticing white feathers. White feathers could be showing up as a sign to choose peace. So let's get into the individual zodiac signs. Timestamps are listed below. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed new moon. And I will talk to you soon. Do let me know how this new moon plays out for you. Bye. Hi Aries rising, sun and moon. This new moon for you, Aries, is playing out in your 5th house. You're very creative around this time. There's some new beginning that is very fertile, very prosperous for you, that is requiring you to generate a lot of self-confidence and self-belief with Jupiter in your 1st house. This could be a time for you where if you're trying to conceive, that you find out you are pregnant, or there could be a birth happening for you or someone significant around you at this time. There could be some sort of addition of a child in your life. This might also be a time where you are going out on a date, or you're spending time dating or having new romantic encounters, or you're adding more romance into your existing relationships. It might also be a time where you are being called to be more creative, more playful, and choose how you can have more fun in your life. This could be a hobby, for example, that you're taking up around this time, and it's going to boost your confidence in some way, shape, or form. Financially speaking, that conjunction is going to be very significant for you in terms of money. This could be a genius new idea on how to make money, or this could be financial news. With Uranus there's an element of surprise, there's an element of shock, there's an element of unpredictability. So it may not be a time where you're looking to, for example, put down a big deposit on something, because there could be a bit of a shake-up going on for you around this time financially. And it, as I say, it could be that you're maybe with Mercury in your 5th house squaring Uranus in your 2nd, it may be, for example, that if you find out you're expecting a baby, you're realizing the costs of this and how they're going to add up, or you're realizing the costs of having a child or having children. Or it could be your creative projects are going to require a lot of investment financially. There could be more money required than you expect. Basically speaking, Aries, there's a very fun, new, joyful new beginning here for you, but it could also be requiring you to invest a little bit more money. It could be requiring you to invest a little bit more of the material, or it could be as well shaking up in some way your confidence. It could be shaking up your morals, and you could be having a complete epiphany in terms of your value system and what works for you. So your oracle card, Aries, is deep knowing. So a lot of you could be seeing owls. A lot of you could be seeing owls. I believe that with the next full moon being in Aquarius, your 11th house of long-term objectives, I feel like a lot of you are experiencing a bit of a shift in what it is that you believe in. I think a lot of you are having a bit of clarity here that goes deeper on a cellular level. You're experiencing an epiphany. I feel like with the owl energy, you're becoming a lot wiser in what it is that you want to do. I also feel like whatever it's unfolding at your life, you just have this sense of confidence and this sense of knowing that you want to do this, that you want to invest in this, and that you want to create this thing, Aries. So follow your intuition around this time. And that's all I have for you, Aries, and I will talk to you soon. Hi Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Taurus, whatever your Taurus placement is, if it is at 18 degrees, this is a very significant time for you. If it's at 5 degrees, this is also a significant time for you. And if you have placements at 5 and 18 degrees, this is a very significant time for you. This is a time of innovation, change, and the dust not settling. The dust is up in the air. This is a very interesting new beginning for you, Taurus, because this is actually happening in your sector of home and family. The Leo energy represents your home and family sector. So for a lot of you, it could be buying a house, it could be redecorating, it could be changing your residence, there could be a change in who you live with, there could be a change of affairs happening in your family at this time. There could be some sort of new beginning in terms of family. And this is supported by Jupiter in your 12th house, meaning that there's something about this that has been behind the scenes, so to speak, whether that's you working on your mental health, your mental well-being, or whether this has been work you've been putting in behind the scenes and not telling anybody. Your healing might be leading you to some kind of new beginning, new chapter in your family life or your home life, Taurus. So the work you've been doing on yourself for the last few months internally could be paying off in terms of this new beginning. So you're realizing you want to live somewhere else, you're realizing you want to manifest a new house, you maybe want to decorate a new house, or you want to start a vision board for a new house. As new moons are a point of manifestation, if you want to change your living situation, this could be the time to do it, or this could be the time to have some sort of positive new beginning in terms of home and family. And maybe for some of you with Jupiter in the 12th house, that's forgiveness and thus a new chapter with a family member. So there is a square going on between Mercury in Leo and Uranus in your sign, which means that there could be some sort of news surrounding a family member. There could be some sort of news surrounding your home situation that maybe makes you feel a little bit chaotic, a little bit confused. But there is this beautiful new beginning happening that is saying this is positive change. Okay, so with the North Node, Mercury and Uranus all conjunct in your first house, Taurus, for you, this is a new beginning of self. This is stepping into a new chapter, very self-sufficient chapter, very innovative chapter, a chapter where you really are learning to embrace change, embrace chaos, and embrace the new energy around you. This could be drastically changing your hair. This could be drastically changing your style. This could be realizing your personality has actually changed quite a lot. It's a new era for you, Taurus, especially Taurus rising. It's a new era, it's a new chapter, it's a new beginning. And it's very fresh, very innovative, but it's all kind of destined for you at this point with the North Node there. So let's have a little look at your oracle card. All that glitters. This is just such a you card. I really love this. So everyone, I know that the concept is that all that glitters isn't gold. This is kind of more to do with all that glitters is gold. It's that Smash Mouth song. Hey now, you're an all-star. You know that one? That's kind of that's your song at the minute is what I'm sort of getting for you. That's your theme with the all that glitters card. It's about letting your true self shine out, Taurus. I think I just called you Leo. Why am I getting Leo for you guys? Maybe a Leo is very significant for you. Oh, it's the Leo new moon. Okay, whatever. This is very much your energy, Taurus. You're in the spotlight. You're shining. Uranus is lightning. It's a light bulb moment. So it causes glitter, right? It causes a twinkle when it touches something. So with Uranus touching you, it's causing that twinkle. It's causing that spark. And I think for you, Taurus, this is a time for you to be seen, to put yourself out there, to not be shy, to be embracing who you are, to be embracing your new self, and to show up in the world without this mask on, because the mask is not as pretty as you really are. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. So Gemini, this new moon is happening in your third house, which is to do with communication, but it's also to do with siblings. It's to do with neighbors. And it can also be to do with short trips. So for some of you, drop my cards. For some of you, you could be taking a short trip around this time. For some of you, there could be significant news coming in around this time. And there could be some sort of new beginning regarding a sibling, regarding a neighbor, or regarding something that you're learning or studying around this time. It is supported by Jupiter in Aries, which is your 11th house of groups and social networks. So it could be that a friend or a group are supporting this new beginning for you in terms of communication, in terms of education. It could be that you have a long-term goal in mind or long-term wish in mind, and it is spurring you on to learn something new, maybe take a new course, maybe make a new connection with somebody that is going to benefit you. This is actually a really nice time to make friends, Gemini. I will say that if you're looking to make some new friends, if you're looking to put yourself out there, even on social media, or put yourself out into the world, this is a good time to do it because you have that social butterfly connection energy with this new moon. The odd thing about this is that at the same time, there's all this internal stuff going on with you. Like there's all this internal unrest because the North Node is there in your 12th house with Mars and with Uranus. So you could be having a lot of very vivid, very unusual, very interesting dreams around this time. There could be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with you at this time. There could be a lot of stuff that is going on behind the scenes that is changing your destiny. So this could be stuff that you're keeping private, whether that is working through anything mental health related, like working with a therapist, a counselor, doing some sort of healing work. You might have a real epiphany on the healing work that you've been doing. And you might have a real sense of knowing that you have to let something go, be it a thought system, be it a relationship, be it an experience. You have to let something go around this time to step into the new direction. But there could be a lot of spiritual epiphanies. You could be having very psychic dreams. Just want to put it out there. A visitation dream of someone who's passed. You could be having news come to you through a dream, like just someone saying something that turns out to be true. You could be having premonitions. You could be having epiphanies. And at the same time, there could be with Mercury in your third house of communication, squaring off with Uranus in your 10th house, you could get a message in a dream or an unexpected message, maybe that tastes a little bit sour. It's kind of like there's a resistance to it, or there could be something about it that you really don't like. Or it just might be that you realize via a confrontation or a conversation that you've actually really healed. And you're not doing things the way that you used to do them, and that you're having a stronger sense of boundaries. This is a good time to be very clear about your boundaries, because Mars and Uranus just rummaging around your 12th house, you have to have some sort of boundaries with your own thoughts, with your own well-being, with that inner critic, with that inner judgment, all that stuff. You have to have that real sense of boundaries with those voices. So I'm going to draw you an oracle card, if I could just pick up these cards. Ugh. Okay. So let's go. Let's get an oracle card for Gemini for this new moon in Leo and see what your message is. So your message is, oh my gosh, we just had this for Taurus, all that glitters. So this is a new moon in Leo, so there is a real sense of charisma around this time. There's a lot of want for attention. A lot of people are going to want to be in the the center of attention with this new moon. I feel like for you, I'm drawn more so to the mask in this card and all the activity happening in your 12th house. If you're wanting to connect with other people, or you're wanting to be seen in some capacity, it's important to remember that if you want to connect with others authentically, it's more important to put your real personality forward. Because if you want to, attract a partner, if you want to attract a friend, if you want to attract a good job, you have to be true to yourself. Because if you're putting out this false image, it's unlikely that you're going to get a compatible fit. And that's kind of the message that I'm getting for you with this card. Watch your words as well, because with this new moon, your words are spells in a huge way. What you're speaking into existence manifests that little bit more quickly with this new moon. So this is a good time to write out your intentions. It's a good time to speak your intentions, Gemini. And you may also, as I say, hear your intentions through your dreams or through some kind of spiritual experience. With that triple conjunction in the 12th house, great time to consult a tarot reader or an astrologer. So that's what I have for you, Gemini, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Cancer, this new moon for you is happening in your sector of finances. It's your sector of money. It's your sector of income. And it is having this positive trine from Jupiter in your 10th house. This is quite simple for you. This could be a raise. This could be a new job that is more financially beneficial for you. Your salary could be increasing. You could be coming into some money that is going to boost your public image. This could be a time when you figure out a way to make new money, make more money. Money is very much the center of this new moon for you. So this is a new financial chapter. Now, this might be that you're not coming into any more money, but you're figuring out a better way to save money. The new moon is a great time to get your finances in order. So that could be that you start with a new bank that is better for you. It could be that you start up a savings account. It could be that you go through your personal statements and realize what it is that your bank statements and realize what it is that you're spending too much money on, especially with Jupiter in the mix. But with Jupiter being in your 10th house, Cancer, I really feel for a lot of you that there could be some sort of recognition. This could have happened recently, and this is where you get your pay upgrade or something like that. But it's a good time to really focus on how your professional life and your finances are aligned and where you see that going in the future. It's a good time to get very clear about that. And if you want to manifest money by a spell or by intention or action or whatever way you manifest, Cancer, because that is such an overused buzzword now, I know, but calling in more money, this is a great time to do something like that. There is a lot of change happening that you might not feel right away, but there's a lot of change and new beginnings happening for you, Cancer, in terms of your friendships, your social groups, your social networks, your social media presence. Some of you may go viral if you're online. Cancer risings may in particular notice a real boof of social media views if you are online, if you do put videos on YouTube, if you do put things on Twitter. Aspects to your 11th house, particularly Uranus and particularly the North Node, there can be opportunities to go viral, to generate more attention. This can also be that you find yourself connecting with this whole new tribe of people, with all these new friends, all these new social connections, things like that. There could be a lot of changes. That might mean letting go of some people. That might be some upheaval in terms of your social groups and your networks. But there is a positive new beginning happening here that is maybe more, I feel like you're maybe more connecting to a tribe of people or a group of people, or more like-minded folk that are maybe more in alignment with what it is that you're looking to connect with. You know, the type of people you want to connect with. Spiritual people, maybe inventive people, maybe genius people, more wild people, maybe people that don't live by the norm, with Uranus being there. We'll say with the Mars Uranus thing, don't join a cult. Just in case, you know, you're thinking of it, just don't join a cult. You want freedom, and that's not freedom. So let's get you an oracle card, Cancer, and see what comes up for you. We have chaos and conflict. So I think I literally just said that. I think I literally just said about chaos in your friendship sector. I feel like for a lot of you with the Mercury Uranus Square, because that is going to be happening with your sector of finance and values and your friendship sector, I do feel that you might realize you're not on the same page as some of your friends anymore. There could be a little bit of a political discussion gone wrong. There could be a little bit of a disagreement based on belief systems, based on values that happens around this time. So if you don't want to get involved in that, you don't have to. Just watch out for it, Cancer. That's what I have for you. Hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, star of the show. So Leo, this new moon is happening for you in your first house of self, and it is getting a positive boost of energy coming in from Jupiter in your 9th house. So this might be a time, an exciting new beginning that is an exciting new beginning for yourself that is linked in your belief system. It's maybe linked to traveling, to relocating. It might be linked to higher learning, education, or your worldview, or your wider belief systems about the world. There seems to be some sort of positive link between that area and your sense of self and your self-confidence. So it could be that you're taking a trip or you're traveling with somebody around this time that is going to boost your sense of self. It could be that if you've been studying for something, if you've done a course, you're getting results maybe that are boosting your sense of self, or you're learning something about the world that really gives you this kind of confidence and self-belief and faith in yourself and your new goal, whatever this is. You're starting a new goal for yourself around this time. It could be to do with your aesthetic, your appearance, but it could just be a goal that's very personal to you, Leo. There is a strong sense of self with this new moon for you, where you're stepping into a new period, a new chapter. And I do remember there was a quote by somebody that life is not about figuring out who you are, it's about creating who you are. So it's kind of that playful creation of self, where maybe you're trying new clothes, new style, new image, or something like that. And it might be more in tune with something you're studying or learning, you know what I mean? So we do have this square going on between Mercury in your first house and Uranus in your 10th house. So there could be a bit of a butting heads, conflict of ego with a boss, with an authority figure, with someone you work with, work for, or works for you even maybe. But I think it's more to do with like a boss or an authority figure. That could be a bit of a clash, a bit of a battle of egos maybe, or it could be that you feel like you're not getting the status and the recognition that you deserve for something, and this might actually come to a head around this time. We also have this lineup of the North Node of Mars and of Uranus in your 10th house. So this can be a bit of disruption, a bit of sudden change, chaos maybe going on in your work sector, or your status in life, the way that you're perceived in the outside world. All of these things have a lot of upheaval, and there seems to also be, because this is a conjunction, a new beginning for you career-wise, a new professional chapter. You might want some more freedom, or you might want more status, but whatever it is, there is a lot of change coming to you in this area. Of course, there's going to be when we're having a year of eclipses with the North Node there, but this might be that there is something comes to a head that links back to April. So maybe something was sort of starting to take shape in April, and this is sort of coming to a head around this time for you, Leo. But there is some sort of huge change coming to you in terms of your career, especially if this links to 18 degrees of fixed placements anywhere in your chart. So let's get you an oracle card and see what is coming to you, Leo. Literally just got this for Cancer, I think it was. Chaos and conflict. So there is a real shift going on. There is change with that Mercury and Uranus square. There is chaos, there is conflict. You might butt heads with somebody in order to clear the air in some essence around this time. There could be some sort of upheaval, there could be some sort of change, chaos, conflict that comes to a head around this time. Forewarned is forearmed. Be prepared. If you can respond with ease and calm and grace as much as you can to a situation, it can feel a little bit less challenging. With so much fixed sign energy in the sky at this time, resistance can just make things feel that bit worse, and it's good to sort of drop down and just say, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Obviously, depending on the circumstances, don't take that to be insensitive, because everyone's experience is going to be different. So follow your intuition on this, but it does seem with so much in the fixed signs that there could be a bit of challenge going on around this time. As much as there is this lovely new beginning happening, there is a lot of fixed sign chaos, and the best way to deal with fixed sign energy is not to resist it, because sometimes the resistance prolongs the fear and it restricts the innovation. That's what Uranus is about. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome to the new moon in Leo for your sign, Virgo, sun, moon and rising. So Virgo, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, and it is going to be harmoniously aspecting Jupiter in your 8th. At the same time, we have Mercury in your 12th house, squaring Uranus in your 9th house. So that's the astrological mumbo jumbo. What this means is that for you, Virgo, the way that I'm seeing this new moon is that there is some sort of new chapter happening for you internally, behind the scenes. Leo is your behind the scenes energy, which means that the work that you do privately, you do it with flair, you do it with pizzazz, you do it in a way that is absolutely show-stopping. So that can actually be your inner work as well. Your healing. I feel like for you, Virgo, with this new moon, it is asking you to begin a new chapter of your healing, a new chapter of your inner work, your relationship with yourself, a new chapter maybe even with boundaries, asserting boundaries. The positive trine to Jupiter in your 8th house means that you may find around this new moon that you are finally letting go of something that wasn't serving you. You might find that you're letting go of a way of thinking, a way of being, maybe even a way of viewing intimacy. It could actually be that an intimate relationship is helping you heal in some capacity. And it may also be with Jupiter there that there's some sort of financial link to somebody else with this new beginning. So somebody else may be investing money in the work that you're doing behind the scenes. So it could be like a silent investor in some shape or form, a silent beneficiary is helping you achieve something or begin a new creation or begin something new in terms of healing. If you're into anything spiritual, if you're into anything like tarot readings, or you're a psychic or anything like that, this new beginning could actually be in that area for you. And it could be that you are really flourishing at this time, Virgo. So a lot of the stuff that's happening for you that is good is kind of behind the scenes, and that might seem kind of dull, but it's really the work that goes on behind the scenes is what shapes our outer experience. So you can work with this however way you choose. You may find that you are recommended a great therapist, a great spiritual healer, a great psychological healer, anything like that. You might find that you are being shown the way to a new healing route for yourself, Virgo. Usually new moons in the 12th house are a new way of healing, a new way of doing something behind the scenes, beginning something behind the scenes that might actually benefit you quite a lot financially within the next 6 months as well. So we also have Mercury, your ruler, in your 12th house, meaning that you could be having some very unusual dreams around this time, some unusual serendipities, squaring Uranus in the 9th house. I feel like you might be finding yourself kind of on edge or kind of triggered by other people's belief systems or other people's educational experience or other people's viewpoints of the world. If you're going to clash with anybody, it might be that. And I don't feel like anybody's trying to offend you at this time. Virgo, I just think that it might be something you might notice that other people's beliefs are triggering you in some capacity. So just watch out for that in terms of confrontation, Virgo, because it's very likely that nobody would think with Mercury in your 12th house that any discussion was affecting you, and then you might suddenly like poof, explode. We also have this North Node, Mars and Uranus conjunction in Taurus, your 9th house. So I feel like for a lot of you, there could be some sort of new direction, some sort of change, some sort of new beginning, some sort of branching out in terms of your worldview, your belief system. Your belief system might actually get shaken up by a trigger, something that triggered you or spurred you to have a change of belief or want to lean more into learning something. Some of you might have an epiphany regarding your education. Some of you might have an epiphany regarding travel, or there might be some sort of dramatic new direction in those areas for you, Virgo. Let's have a little look at your oracle cards and see what we get for you for this new moon in Leo. Oh, well, we got two. I'm going to give you two. Oh, lovely. We got loyal heart and we got serendipity, Virgo. Very cute. So I do think for a lot of you, there could actually be a very serendipitous, it could be a very serendipitous romantic connection on the horizon for some of you. If you're Virgo rising, perhaps this is triggering your 5th house in some capacity. I do feel like for a lot of you, there could be a serendipitous connection with somebody. Loyal heart was the card that I was going to pull, but the serendipity one popped up with it. So I feel like the loyal heart card is more significant. I do feel like there could be somebody around you with very good intentions if you're interested in somebody, or it could be that you're calling in this relationship, or it's just asking you to appreciate that in another person or to appreciate that in yourself. But I do feel with serendipity that maybe there is some kind of serendipitous romantic encounter on the horizon for some Virgos. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Leo forecast for your sign. So Libra, this new moon is happening in your 11th house, and the 11th house is the house of good fortune. So that's nice. It's also the house associated with friendships, social communities, your social circle, and your long-term goals and objectives. So this is harmoniously aspecting Jupiter in your partnership sector. So this can be that in a relationship, there's something to be excited about for the future. There's something that you're looking forward to with a partner. It could be that you're making some plans for the future that involve a key relationship in your life. It doesn't have to be romantic necessarily, but there can be plans surrounding some kind of key relationship in your life that maybe Jupiter in Aries is amplifying and emphasizing. It could also be that maybe you are asking a friend, if you're single, to set you up with somebody, or it may be that you are quote unquote manifesting a specific person. Cut to 10 million videos on YouTube about that concept, but it might be that you're realizing around this time that somebody that you likes you back, or there just seems to be a lovely link between your wishes and your long-term objectives and your partnership sector. So it might be that you are manifesting a partner, it might be that you're being set up with somebody by a friend, or it might be that a friend is becoming a little bit more, or you're connecting with someone on social media, maybe who has partnership potential for you. But really this new moon is a new beginning in the area of long-term goals, what you're looking forward to, what you're excited about, your wishes, your friendships. So for some of you, maybe you are making a new friend around this time, maybe making a new best friend. Maybe some of you are joining a new group. Maybe some of you are joining a social circle, and in some way, shape or form, this is going to positively correspond with your partnership life. So whether you're meeting a friend, making a new best friend, or whether you are connecting to somebody romantically through a social situation, these things are all kind of highlighted for you at this time, Libra. This is a wonderful new moon to make a wish, I have to say, because new moons are all about manifestation, and this is a wonderful time for you to make a vision board, get your goals aligned, figure out what it is that you actually want. Mercury is in your 11th house and it is clashing with Uranus in Taurus, which is your 8th house. So Uranus going through your 8th house is really, your 8th house is very exaggerated around this time. So the 8th house is associated with things like regeneration, rebirth, renewing something. It's also other people's money, how you're linked with others financially. It's also psychology. It's also letting go or transforming something in your life, Libra. So there's a clash there between your friendships and your social groups maybe and something psychological. So you might notice with this that people in your friendship circle around the 31st are a bit touchy. You might notice that there's a bit of a push for confrontation maybe happening around this time. You might notice that there is more chance of confrontation around this time, particularly for intimate partners or joint investors. So if you're joint with someone financially, there could be something really comes up around this time. With the 8th house, it's difficult to say because it can be such a mysterious and transformative house. So to have Mars there, to have the North Node there, to have Uranus there means that there can be, you know, challenges, abrupt endings per se with the 8th house. There can be complete psychological transformations. There can be epiphanies with your psychology. Maybe your own triggers, maybe your own issues are kind of coming up around this time in a way that is brought about by maybe your social group or a team. Because it is very possible to be triggered by groups of people or team dynamics. If any of you have Saturn in the 11th house, you might know this. People can be very triggered in group situations. So it might be for you around this time that as much as there's a beautiful new beginning happening in that area, you could find that in the days going forward that there's maybe some stuff comes to a head, some tensions come to a head in friendships or group or team dynamics. Or you could realize how your own personal psychology is holding you back from achieving your goals. Maybe you have perfectionism. Maybe you're discovering something psychologically that really unlocks a new beginning for you. And it can't hold you back anymore because the awareness is the key. So let's have a little look at your oracle cards, Libra, and see what we get. Oh, why? This just says why. I think that this is linking into the psychological component of asking yourself why. Why do you want something? Why are you responding the way that you're doing? Why are they responding the way that they are? Why is this happening? Why is this a pattern? You're getting to the root of it. I actually think this makes so much sense with the stellium in the 8th house, because when there's a stellium in the 8th house, the questioning, the need to know why something works the way it does, it's impossible to ignore with 8th house energy. Whether that's 8th house transits, whether that's 8th house placements, there's a need to ask why. There's a need to get to the root of an issue. And I think that's a big question for you this week. I think you're going to be having a lot of epiphanies, psychological epiphanies in particular, as to why you behave a certain way or why they behave a certain way. I feel like you're getting answers, Libra. So that's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your forecast for the Leo new moon. So Scorpio, this new moon is happening for you in your career sector. So for you, this might be an entirely new beginning for you professionally. Maybe you're taking on a new role, a new job, a new status. Maybe you have accomplished something and this is the new beginning that is linked to it. Perhaps you are taking on a new job. Perhaps you have actually got a new boss or a new authority figure coming into your workplace, or you could be taking on more responsibility. Whatever it is, Scorpio, it seems to be supported by the people that you work with. It also seems to be supported by your routines, what it is that you are doing with your day-to-day. This could also very much be a fitness goal or some kind of fitness accomplishment, because this is receiving a harmonious link to Jupiter in your 6th house, where you've been focusing a lot of your energy into working out, into eating well, into training towards something. And this new moon could be the beginning of a new goal, or it could be the next level because you've accomplished something. So maybe you have achieved a particular fitness goal, a particular work goal, a particular dietary goal, even with Jupiter there. Your routines, the discipline you've had behind the scenes with the 6th house, the work you've been doing behind the scenes is benefiting new status and new career goals or new career status for you, Scorpio. There is a bit of a challenge between Mercury in your 10th house of career status and prestige, and it's squaring Uranus in your sector of partnerships, your one-on-one relationships, and also your enemies. So it might be that someone is going for the same goal as you. It might be that someone is going after the same work position or the same accomplishments as you. You could have some competition going on that you become aware of around this time. It might also be that if you're in a relationship or a marriage, that work and your relationship life is not blending. There's a bit of tension going on for you relationship wise, because Mars and Uranus are conjunct in your relationship sector and the true node is there. So you might be you might be feeling a bit triggered or a bit angry or a bit frustrated or something with a partnership or a relationship, or you might actually feel as well at the same time like you're having an epiphany about your relationship life and you're becoming clear, or you're getting a moment of clarity on the direction that either the relationship you're in is going, the way you want your relationship life to go, or just relationships in general. You're kind of having an epiphany, but there's also a very explosive energy going on at the same time with Uranus and Mars. So as I say at the beginning of the reading, choose peace. Because the epiphanies are quite significant. So you guys could be having an epiphany regarding your relationships or your partnerships. Let's see what your oracle card is, Scorpio. Time to go. Interesting. So I feel like you're being called to act on something. You're maybe being called to go towards something, or leave something behind. Maybe a particular way of doing things, maybe a particular way of seeing the world. Maybe you're leaving something in the past. Maybe you're letting someone go. Maybe you're leaving a job. Maybe you're leaving a relationship. Maybe you're leaving a neighborhood. But I feel like with the North Node, there is a new beginning happening for you that is about going towards something. So you could be leaving behind, I think with this new moon being in Leo, you could be leaving behind a goal, you could be leaving behind a job, and that is because you are focused on a new position, or you're focused on a new goal, something that you're going towards, and it's time to go towards this new goal or this new ambition or this new job or whatever it is that's going to increase your status in some way, shape or form, Scorpio. So that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to your new moon in Leo forecast. So Sagittarius, this new moon this new moon is happening in your 9th house, and you as a Sagittarian, you are the sign that is associated with the 9th house. So this is energy that you're quite comfortable with. It's fellow fire sign energy. So this new moon for you may be around the time that you're traveling, or you're having some sort of new beginning associated with traveling. Maybe you're realizing you want to travel more. Maybe you're taking a very significant trip. Maybe you're planning a trip around this time. And this is all supported by your ruler Jupiter in your sign of creation, love, joy, happiness, romance, and even children. So it might be around this time, Sagittarius, that you're taking a trip with your children or with a romantic partner. Or it may be that you're taking a trip that's going to benefit you creatively. It's showing you what it is that you want to create. Or maybe it is that you are, taking a very joyful, fun trip around this time. It might also be a time when you are studying, you're beginning a new period of studying for something. And if you are studying for something, it could involve children or something creative because of that Jupiter in the 5th house aspect for you. So there is a new beginning for you in terms of higher learning, in terms of travel, in terms of your higher education, in terms of also your relationship with faith and what it is that you believe in. So it could be for you around this time that you're changing your belief systems in some way, or you're having an epiphany, or some kind of new beginning is happening there. We also have with Mercury in Leo in your sector of travel, there's a square with Uranus in your 6th house. So I feel like if you're traveling around the date of this new moon, there could be some kind of disruption occurring. So just look out for that. Or there could be some sort of disruptive news if you're learning something or studying something. It might not be the day to get things done per se, because there is some kind of disruptive element to do with routine. So it might be that there is some sort of, if you're studying, for example, if you're at uni, it's like a staffing change, or it could be a routine in your commute or something like that. The timetables, there could be some sort of shift around this time. There is this huge conjunction happening with Mars, with Uranus, and the North Node in your 6th house of work. and also your routines, but also your health and fitness. So there could be some huge changes. This might be a time where if you're going to injure yourself over something stupid at the gym, you do it. So just watch out for that. Try and take it a bit easier if you're into health and fitness around this time. This might also be a time when there's a lot of disruptions at work. So that could be staff leaving, staff changing. This could also just be that your day-to-day routine is changed or disrupted in some way, shape or form. But you can also be having an epiphany in your work area or surrounding your colleagues. I do think there could be some disruptive news surrounding a colleague at this time for you, Sagittarius. So let's see what your oracle card is. Ooh, regeneration. Very nice. I feel like you're sort of, with this energy, I'm sort of thinking that this is kind of tying into the fact that we have a lot of planets right now in your 8th house. Well, we have Venus in your 8th house. I think at the time of this new moon, the time I'm filming this, there's still a lot in your 8th house. By the time of this new moon, Venus is in your 8th house. I do feel like for some of you, there could be a regeneration in your romantic or financial life going on for you, Sagittarius. That is sort of something I'm seeing. I'm also seeing with so much in the 6th house that you're in a healing phase, maybe physically. Maybe you're regenerating from an illness or maybe a surgery or an injury or something like that, and you're needing to focus on healing your body. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Leo for your sign. So Capricorn, this is happening in your 8th house. So this new moon is a new beginning in your sector of psychology, of letting go, of regeneration, of rebirth, but also your relationships with other people's money, and also your relationships with intimacy. So it could be around this time that there's a new intimate relationship beginning for you. It could be around this time as well that you are joining forces with someone else financially. Now this could be somebody in your family, because we do have a trine going on with Jupiter in your 4th house. You could be joining with someone financially in your family. There could be some sort of financial relationship with a family member that has some kind of new beginning at this time. It feels like for a lot of you there is a new beginning as well psychologically, and that maybe you are beginning a new way of working with your psychological health. So that could be seeing a therapist or a psychologist or something like that, or learning about psychology at this time. Actually, learning about any of the ologies is favored with this new moon because of its trine to Jupiter, Jupiter being about higher learning and higher education. That's what the planet is associated with. It could be that you're deciding to study one of these areas and you're finding it really very interesting. But for many of you, it could be that you're joining financially with someone in your family, or it could be that you're joining financially with somebody in terms of buying a home or a property in some way. There's a link between your money and property at this time, or your psychology and family at this time. And that can be actually figuring out psychological patterns, family patterns, ancestral karma, that kind of thing. It can also be a time where you are joining forces with someone financially because maybe, for example, you're getting married, or maybe, for example, you are getting a property with someone you are romantically involved with, and you're paying the same amount of money each month. You know, there's a link between finances and your home at this time. So there seems to be some new beginning happening for you there. If it's not to do with joining forces financially, as I say, this could be a time when you're very focused on psychology and you're beginning a process of maybe healing some sort of triggers at this time, Capricorn, that is going to help you, particularly when it comes to family matters, like understanding a pattern, understanding a cycle could be coming to your attention around this time, or something of interest to you. So other things happening for you that are really interesting is that there is this clash with Mercury in your 8th house and Uranus in your 5th house. I feel like for a lot of you, especially because of this stellium with the North Node, Mars and Uranus, a lot of you are prone to or may experience an unexpected pregnancy. Maybe you or your partner, or maybe somebody in your life, there's sort of like a shockwave attached to this. So there could be some sort of unexpected pregnancy or unexpected news surrounding children at this time, maybe that comes out of absolutely nowhere. For others of you, this can be creatively something is really bursting at this time. Like maybe you have a creative project and there's going to be some aggression about this, there's some frustrations about this, but there's also clarity and innovation coming from this tension. So you might be getting really clear direction in terms of your creative endeavors if you're an artist, or it could be this is to do with your children. There could be some tension surrounding children and this comes to a head, and then there's clarity about what the next chapter is. I do think for some of you, if you really don't want to get pregnant, be cautious around this new moon because there's a lot of indications, so just be mindful of that. But if you're looking to conceive, there may also be a sense of frustration before the clarity comes in. Do you know what I mean? Like there's such an unpredictable energy with Uranus being there, I have to say. For some of you, this could also be with a love interest. If you're romantically dating somebody, there could also be something that comes out of nowhere surrounding your love life, something you didn't see coming, or something, you know, something kind of comes out of nowhere, I think, because of Mercury in the 8th house squaring your 5th house basically. So there's kind of this tension between your 8th and 5th house with that square on the day of this new moon. So I do think that there could be some sort of trigger coming up for you regarding love, regarding romantic relationships, but also maybe regarding creativity, maybe regarding the way that the things that make you happy. You're getting more clear in the things that make you happy, but there might also be a bit of tension coming from that, Capricorn. We have the card Go the Distance. So you're thinking about the long game in this, and it's also telling you that you have it in you to go the distance with whatever race it is that you're running. I do feel like because Jupiter goes retrograde this day and we have so much spinning in your 5th house regarding anything creatively, romantically, or to do with children, you're sort of thinking about what's going to happen for the long game with this, and there's a lot of disruptions in the meantime, so it's telling you to just stick it out with the sudden chaos and strange things going around with this particular transit because it's very rare. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. So Aquarius, this new moon is happening in your 7th house of relationships, and it is receiving positive energy from Jupiter in your sector of communication, your sector of your neighbors, your siblings, but also just the way that you articulate yourself, the way that you communicate messages back and forth, that sort of thing. So Aquarius, what's happening for you with this new moon is that there could be a new beginning in your relationship life with your marital partner, your current relationship, or this could be that you're maybe going official with somebody. Because there could be a conversation that's quite important relationship wise for you around this time if you are an Aquarius rising. With Jupiter being in your 3rd house, it feels like communication is supportive of a new beginning in your relationship. It may also feel like your siblings are supportive of your relationship, or it could be that maybe you're actually dating one of your neighbors with this sort of combination going on here. But I do think for a lot of you that there's positive communication going on regarding your relationship life. If you're completely single, this could just be a really great discussion with a best friend or positive communication with a best friend. But if you're entirely single, you might actually notice somebody around this time, especially if you do anything at 5 degrees in your chart. You might actually, something might start to begin with a relationship or potential relationship. So also Aquarius, there is this square. Now, I just want to point out to you that as an Aquarius, whatever it is, it's your sun, your moon, your rising, you've had contact with Saturn. And I can relate to this because Saturn is on my moon all year, and it is hands down one of the hardest transits I've ever had. One of the things about this is that as a fixed sign, you are quite sensitive to the energies that are going on at this time. So we do have this square between Mercury in your 7th house of relationships and Uranus in your sector of family, home, but also the past. I kind of feel like around this time there could be a heated discussion, and there could be maybe tension between your marriage, your relationship, and maybe a family member. Or it could be that you're just finding you're butting heads with some of the key relationships in your life around this time. Don't let it deduct from the fact that there's a new beginning, but it feels like there might be some tensions to be addressed, particularly with family. And that is because there's this lineup in your sector of family in your 4th house. So family kind of comes to the fore here in a big way in the last week of July leading into August. And there could be a lot of tense, explosive energy with Mars and Uranus connecting, but also with Uranus and the North Node connecting, there's clarity and direction. So maybe you're just realizing, I'm so done with where I live. I'm so done with this house. I'm so done with this area. I'm so done with these roommates. And you just want to leave. Or maybe there's just this big burst of tension and this family stuff comes to the head. But with Uranus and the North Node connecting, then you're like, I think I know what I need to do. I think I know what I need to say. I think I know what needs to happen. There comes a moment of clarity after this sort of explosive energy going on. There's like this explosive energy, and then there's this clarity at the same time. So I do think for a lot of you, there can be some, tension arising around this time, and it just wants you to be aware of that so that you can be as calm and prepared for anything that may come up, because Uranus is your ruler, so you understand it, but it also means when it connects with Mars that you can be doubly triggered. And obviously we have, Saturn sitting on maybe your sun, maybe your moon, maybe your rising, and you're maybe thinking you're just feeling a bit peed off by the way things sort of have been, especially if you've been dealing with a lot of responsibilities towards family. So yes, we have the chop wood card. So the chop wood card is kind of giving me this impression of like, this broom and this bucket of cleaning house. Some of you might actually be realizing with all this energy in the 4th house that you want to completely declutter. You want to go minimalist. You want to strip the wallpaper. You want to break the furniture. You want to break your dishes. You just want to change everything. You want to clean up. You want to declutter. You want to minimize. You want to revolutionize your home, your living situation in some way. And I feel like you almost want to chop things down to make a fire. You want to like, this old furniture that carries all this memories, you just want to like burn it and get the heat from it and have that experience of letting go of something. I think a lot of you could be decluttering around this time and making some changes around the house. In fact, a lot of you could make some very drastic changes around the house, I want to say that. So just be mindful that if you throw away a lot of stuff when you're angry, you might regret it later. So just make sure that you're aware of what you're doing and it's not based in rage with Mars there. But certainly a declutter and a feng shui would be good for you at this time. So Aquarius, that is what I have for you. Hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, sun, moon and rising. Welcome to your new moon forecast. So Pisces, there's a new beginning in your work sector. Now, this is also the sector associated with health and fitness. So what I'm seeing for you guys, particularly with this trine to Jupiter in Aries, is that for a lot of you, in terms of the work that you do, there could be some new beginning or new opportunity. Maybe a new job comes up that is better paid than what it is that you're currently doing. Perhaps there is a new career opportunity coming forward for you, a new job, maybe an opportunity to interview, maybe an opportunity to take a job, maybe hearing you've got a job, but there seems to be some new beginning in work. This could also be that you're taking on a new role within the work that you currently do. And this is supporting you financially, or at least in terms of your confidence, with Jupiter being there in your 2nd house. So it could be that your money is increasing with this new move, this new change, this new beginning. It could also be that your confidence is increasing. With this also being a sector associated with health and fitness, around this time there could be a new beginning in your diet, in your workout routine, in the exercise that you do. And this is really supportive of your sense of self-confidence and your self-belief. So great time to set a fitness goal, a dietary goal, anything that just, focuses on your health and your well-being, not in a punish yourself way, but in a giving to yourself and focusing on your well-being. Pisces, this is a wonderful time to start a new routine or incorporate something into your schedule that's more health focused. That could even be meditation. That could be, can you hear the rain? It could be something that is good for your body. So taking up a new sport or taking up a new, getting a new gym membership or something like this that is going to support you. And it might actually support not just your self-confidence, but this new goal might support you financially because you might be more organized and you might be more focused on your well-being, and your health is your wealth. But there is a link between what you do in your day-to-day and how you make money. So you might be getting more organized in your schedule, and that makes you more money, especially if you're entrepreneurial, as many Pisces risings are, because your 2nd house is Aries and Jupiter is currently in Aries. So if you are self-employed, you could be making a lot more money with the change in your schedule. Now, there is a clash, or there's some sort of something unexpected or sudden regarding maybe somebody you work with or a sibling. There could be news around this new moon of an unexpected change with somebody you work with. Maybe somebody suddenly leaves, or there's something happens, someone that you're working with that's quite shocking or unexpected. There could be as well some kind of strange or unexpected news regarding your well-being, maybe your health or something like that. Maybe you maybe you have an odd or unusual flare up of something and you realize it's actually completely linked to your diet, or it's completely linked to the exercise that you're doing or something like that. There could be some sort of confusion. Well, not confusion, there could be more so something comes up that you didn't see coming. That's basically what I'm saying. There is also this big lineup happening. That rain is so loud. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. Although it's also kind of relaxing. There is this big lineup in your 3rd house. So with the North Node there, with Mars there and Uranus there, watch your words. You know, what you say impacts people, particularly with Mars and Uranus connected. You could be prone to, I'm so sorry, you could be prone to nastiness with your words. You could say something in the heat of the moment that you really don't mean. You could say something that is not in character. You could say something that you don't actually mean to say, but it comes out so wrong. So just bear in mind your words may have a bit of an unpredictability or a rashness to them, which might not benefit you in the long run, because I actually do think mentally you're getting clarity on something. You're getting clarity on maybe something that you want to study, maybe somewhere you want to go. This is all very indicative of a short trip as well, short trips, short travel. There could be some sort of epiphany linked to that. There could be some sort of serendipity or fatedness linked to that around this time as well. But do watch your words, because your words can actually, they can completely destroy something at this time, but they can also be the catalyst for great change and great direction. And it can be that there's a very serendipitous conversation happens around this time, and you might initially be defensive or maybe be a bit hostile, but if you actually sit with it, it might give you a lot of clarity and it might give you a lot of direction at this time, Pisces. I do feel with Uranus and the North Node in your 3rd house, there could be very significant news or conversations coming up around this time that you may have to mull over. So that's something that's kind of coming up for you. Let's do your card. Ooh, new life. Nice. That's really cool. New life. I haven't seen this card yet. 39. There could be a 39 adds up to 12, so that reduces to a 3. So the 3rd house, I feel like this is bringing you a new life. You could actually be initiating in a whole new chapter here, Pisces. There's a really exciting new beginning in your life at this time. And I also feel like it's a new way of thinking. It's a new way of experiencing life. And it's funny this, because with this great conjunction happening in your 3rd house of a new way of thinking, your life you can't live a new life externally if you haven't changed internally. So I feel like the way that you're thinking is changing your life. So make sure that you're thinking well, Pisces. That is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon.